Good afternoon and welcome to this live broadcast. This is News Now, where we tell you all the stories that are making headlines right now, and it starts now with the highlights. The highlights. President Ruto assents to the IEBC bill paving way for hiring of commissioners after a long wait.
Therefore marks a significant step in the actualization of one of the recommendations of NADCO and testifies to our country's ability to navigate difficult, complex, and sometimes divisive issues that could undermine our national cohesion, undermine our stability and security if we leave it unattended.
Also, frustrated medical professionals set up camp outside Afya House for the second day in a row, demanding to be posted. And 1 dead, 46 injured following train accident in Kajiado.
Nilikuta gari imeanguka, imeroll. Watu wameshindwa kutoka, nikabidi nikapasua dirisha.
Welcome once again. To start us off, President William Ruto has signed the IEBC Amendment Bill 2024 into law, paving way for the formation of a selection panel to pick new IEBC commissioners. During the signing ceremony attended by Azimio leader Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka and their allies, the president gave his commitment to implement the new electoral as recommended by the Joint National Dialogue Committee report. Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who co-chaired the NADCO team, urged the government to address issues raised by the youth. Azimio coalition leader Raila Odinga, however, criticized IEBC's incompetence during the 2022 August elections.
Paves way for the establishment of the selection panel for the appointment of IEBC commissioners. The IEBC remains a cornerstone of our democracy, responsible for overseeing regular elections at various levels, and on the overall, ensuring that our electoral cycle is managed transparently and administered in an impartial, neutral, efficient, accurate, and accountable manner. I concur with leaders who have said there must be professionalism and integrity as part of the cardinal principles of the men and women who will be charged with the responsibility of overseeing our elections.
It's not the first time we've had issues with IEBC. If we find a solution to this issue of IEBC, it will be on the way to resolving very many issues in our country. You will remember in the last elections, the whole world was stunned when we saw an electoral commission that was completely divided. Some saying one thing, others saying one thing. You may be happy that, the other group ruled in my favor. But what example are we showing the world as a country?
Now let's move to Kajiado County, where one person has died and 30 others have sustained injuries after a commuter train was involved in an accident at KMQ. The 9 a.m. accident occurred along the Magadi-Kajiado Road after a commuter train rolled backwards along a steep stretch. Eyewitnesses blame the accident on rampant vandalism of the railway line that has been prone to vandalism by rogue scrap metal dealers. Now, the injured were treated at the Mile 46 dispensary before they were transferred to Kajiado Referral Hospital for specialized treatment. The body of the deceased, who has since been positively identified, is being preserved at the hospital morgue.
Kuna mmoja wa wale watu ambao wameathirika amenipigia simu, nikaenda hapo mwendo wa saa moja, kitu saa 1:30. Kufika pale nilikuta gari imeanguka, imeroll. Watu wameshindwa kutoka, nikabidi nikapasua dirisha, nikawafungulia wakakuja. Lakini kuna baadhi ya watu wameumia. Kwanza kabisa hii daraja ndiyo imesababisha hii ajali. Sababu daraja ni ya mambao, gari pia inabeba mizigo na inabeba abiria. Tulikuwa tunaomba kama kuna uwezekano ya kampuni walete gari ambayo ni ya kubeba abiria tofauti na gari ya kubeba mizigo. Sababu unaona hii gari kianguka, si mara ya pili saa hii gari kianguka hapa. Na hakuna mwelekeo ambao wanasema kamili watakuwa wakifanya.
Na kwanza tunasema pole kwa waathiriwa, kwa sababu tumepata habari tayari kuna wale wamepoteza maisha. Na hii mahali ambayo hii gari imeanguka sio mara ya kwanza. Hata mkiangalia upande hii iko bogi ilianguka tu ndani, na ukarabati ya hii daraja haijafanywa. Na wale wanahusika, sijui kama ni kampuni ya magadi soda ama ni Kenya Railways, na sasa inaleta madhara.
Kiharu Member of Parliament in Murang'a County, Ndindi Nyoro, has outlined strategic measures to responsibly manage Kenya's fiscal or financial budget in the face of public demand for fiscal parity. According to the Member of Parliament in Kiambugi, Kiharu Technical and Vocational College, the National Democratic Institute member echoed the sentiments of Kenyans calling for caution in budgetary allocations and emphasized the need to operate within existing financial constraints. Nonetheless, Nyoro emphasized that in order to ensure sustainable economic management, it is critical to align expenditures with available resources.
Wakatuambia hii maneno ilikuwa tufanye kazi na ile pesa iko. Na kwa hivyo itabidi budget ambayo tulikuwa tumepitisha tuiangalie iambatane na ile pesa ambayo iko katika nchi. Sio ndio haki? Yes. Na katika hiyo mimi nataka nihakikishie wa Kenya, kwa sababu tutakata budget yetu na kama bilioni 177. There are things that we have already agreed that even as we cut our budget, those issues must remain because they are very important to the bosses of us, our bosses, who are the people of Kenya. Na baada ya yote ambayo tutakata, tutajaribu sana kwanza sisi viongozi tujiangalie. Tukate ile pesa ambayo iko katika ama karibu na sisi. Ile iko katika kuhudumia wa Kenya, ikae katika budget, ndio hiyo maneno iende vizuri.
Elsewhere, the government is set to partner with private investors through public-private partnerships to revive the Committee Maximum Prison and Kitengela Prison tanneries that have currently stalled. According to the Correctional Services PS Salome Biako, the revival of the leather industry in prisons will make it a profitable sector. She added that machinery and effluent challenges have stalled the two tanneries.
Under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the leather value chain is one of the key presidential priorities, and the president has been looking to revive the entire tannery industry or leather industry for purposes of job creation, for purposes of increasing exports of manufacture and export and local consumption of leather products. And here in the prison, we have a tannery, and the reason we came is so that we can look in at the tannery and explore ways of reviving it. It is essential because under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, one of the main things is vocational training. And we think that if we can revive the industry, the leather industry in prison, we can scale up the training of our inmates as well as our staff in leather production, and also plug into income, revenue generation for us.
As we are reviving the sector for leather, we found that there's a huge demand for our leather, Kenyan leather, good quality leather. So we've been working with the private sector to see how we can increase production of especially leather finished goods so that we can do value addition and create jobs here in Kenya. We currently make about 8 million shoes per year here in Kenya. We want to bring that up to about 36 million shoes, which will create almost 100,000 new jobs.
Talks between the Ministry of Health and the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, slated for today, failed to commence as hundreds of frustrated medical interns were left stranded at the MOH gates. The KMPDU officials say they are seeking to have a meeting with the National Advisory Council to deliberate on the way forward. The medical interns are demanding that they get posted as per the 2017 CBA.
Are frustrated, disappointed, and disillusioned. We have been having a lot of meetings from last week, Tuesday, where for the first time we made a breakthrough on the issue of implementing CBA. I must say that through the week and over the weekend, we had to crack figures and numbers with the union leaders together with the intern representatives to see how to comply to the return to work formula that was signed on 8th of May 2024. At that point, the number of doctors that could be posted were 552. But then there was no any criteria that could work. It's not possible to only post the doctors that graduated through the job process because the slots aren't enough. It's not possible to post doctors who went to the Module 2 program. It's not possible to post doctors based on the cohort of completion. For those who have stayed for 1.5 years, for those who have stayed for 2 years, for those who have stayed for 1 year. There was no any working mechanisms that can allow for batch posting of doctors or the cohort posting. And we were not for the opinion to solve the issue of part of the doctors and then come back here again 30 days later to start the same process. It is tiring and it's exhausting. And therefore yesterday, we spent over 10 hours trying to crack out and to see mechanisms to...
More details of that story in our subsequent bulletin. Moving on, Uasin Gishu Senator Jackson Mandago and other county leaders now want to have a sit-down with the Gen Z protesters. The leaders are also urging the DCI to conduct thorough investigations and use the law to arrest the perpetrators of a myriad of looting and vandalism witnessed in the past weeks.
Wale wanaandamana kwa haki ambayo wanaona ijetekelezwa, hawa pia wakuwe protected kwa haki yao ya kuandamana. Alafu wale criminals wakuwe handled vile criminals wanafaa kuandoliwa na nini? Na sheria.
Let us include our young generation. Kwa vile tunaweza enda vile tunaendanga, lakini wanaanza kusema hao mambuyu wanasema ni watatujua. So when we have this forum, let us even have 30% ya our Gen Z wako pale.
Religious leaders drawn from Busia County on Tuesday convened a meeting to sensitize local leaders on how to tackle the worrying trend of human trafficking along Busia and Malaba borders. According to the clergy, that there is a level of ignorance among local leaders in Busia on matters of human trafficking across East Africa. Nonetheless, the clergy believe that cases of human trafficking are so high as compared to other counties in Western Kenya because Busia County is a border county.
Kuja sehemu hii tuliona ya kwamba kuna watu wengi hawana ujumbe kuhusu ulanguzi wa binadamu, na tukaona katika kuhamasisha watu tumepata kwamba kuna victims, wale watu ambao wametrafikiwa katika sehemu ya Busia town karibu watu 10 na sehemu za Malaba tuko na watu karibu 14.
Busia, ulanguzi wa wanadamu uko katika hali ya juu kwa sababu hao wako kwenye mpaka, na unakuta ya kwamba ni watu wengi wanasafirishwa kutoka nchi yetu ya Kenya kwenda kule Uganda, kwenda hadi nchi zingine, na pia kuna watu ambao wanasafirishwa kutoka nchi zingine.
Katika kazi hii ya ulanguzi wa binadamu ni ule udhaifu wetu kama wanadamu. Ukweli wa kwamba ni sheria zipo, lakini wale wenye kutekeleza hizo sheria wakiwa ni wanadamu wanatumia ule udhaifu wao kama wanadamu, na ndipo hasa unasikia kwamba hao mbuzi wanapatikana.
Now we move to Meru County, where the Council of Elders of Njuri Ncheke from that county have called upon the President and his deputy to settle their differences for the sake of unity and peace in the country. Led by Josephat Murangiri, the General Secretary of the Council, they have lauded the efforts of the Gen Z in demonstrating for better governance, while urging them to allow the President time to implement necessary changes. They further advised the President to exercise impartiality when dissolving or reshuffling the cabinet. Additionally, they emphasized the need for unity between the President and his deputy. CS Kindiki and IG Koome were urged to enhance security in the Igembe area.
President wetu na deputy wake tunataka waongee na sauti moja, shughulikie maneno ya agency wakiwa pamoja, ndio nchi yetu iwe pamoja. Hatutaki kusikia rais anasema hivi, deputy wake naye anasema hivi. Tunataka wasome kitabu moja, peji moja. Tunawaomba hivyo. Tunataka kumuomba mheshimiwa rais, hayo maombi yote ameombwa na agency yaonekane yametimizwa, na itimizwe haraka iwezekanavyo, ndio nchi yetu iulete utulivu na amani irundi nchini Kenya. Wametufunua macho, yale hatukuwa tunaona wamefanya tuyaone. Kwa hivyo tunawaheshimu sana. Kama tuna adhibu wale wamepewa kazi na serikali ya William Samoei Ruto na deputy wake Gachagua, tuadhibu wote wale wamechaguliwa Kenya mzima. Wizi wa ng'ombe tunataka kujulisha Kindiki na Koome. Tunaripoti kama Njuri Ncheke ng'ombe ziliibiwa Saturday na wakarepeat yesterday, na kwa hivyo hizo ng'ombe bado haijarudi, tunataka irudi mara moja.
Now, of course, we will have details on that. And in the same breath, a new branch of Jazza supermarket has been opened in Donholm area within Nairobi town. The new supermarket's aim is to address the high cost of living among Kenyans by offering products at an affordable price. The supermarket aims to become a very competitive one, since they are planning to open more branches in other areas.
We are the new retail chain concept where we're trying to, as much as possible, to save everybody when it comes to actually everyday cost of living. Just trying to say things and times are tough, but one person has actually come out to say you can be able to buy your wholesale prices in a more friendly supermarket kind of environment. So welcome to our store today. We are in Donholm. It happens to be a number 12 shop, and we shall continue serving you much more as we go next to even other places. We shall be soon be opening up in Kangemi. We should also be going to Karinde, that's the far end of Karen, and to just see how much we can be able to serve everyday customers and be able to enjoy what Jazza has to offer.
Now, a section of youth in Mombasa have lauded President William Ruto's move to have a broader engagement with the youth for national interests. The youth have stated that their aim is not to cause division, but to advocate for change, and have now urged the government to withdraw the new university funding model, as it has led to an increase in fees and less aid, resulting in anguish for students. Meanwhile, traders along Moi Avenue have noted that businesses have resumed after being affected by the protests in the last 3 weeks.
Na kwa vijana, pongezi kwa kujitokeza kwa wengi ili kupigania nchi yetu, haswa vijana wa Mombasa, na pia tunampa pongezi gavana wetu kwa kujitokeza pia kuja kutusaidia. Kando na hayo yote pia mimi nina furaha kwa ascensioning ya bill ya IEBC leo, ambapo mimi nina imani itatupa fursa sisi vijana wanasiasa hapo mbeleni.
We as university students reject the new funding model and ask the previous funding model to be reinstated on the following grounds. There is increased varsity fees and less aid. This results to more debt implications to the students.
Maandamano imeadhiri biashara zetu sana. Tuseme kwa mfano, sisi watu wa kuuza magari hatukuwa tunafungua showrooms. Watu wengine wanasema maandamano wamenunua gari za biashara, wanasema hakuna biashara, hatuwezi lipa madeni. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru sana vile tunaona sasa hakuna maandamano. Vijana wameamua sasa wacha waongee na president na wamesikia.
From the coast, we move to Bungoma County, where residents of Kandui area have now expressed concerns over the possibility of contracting waterborne diseases. This is as a result of swamping in the region caused by a backlog of sewer water in the drainage system due to incomplete roads. The residents who are now demanding accountability from the contractor say there are some roads that are yet to be completed and they cause havoc to the residents, endangering their lives. And Kalaba MCA Cornelius Makanu says that in as much as the government is working to ensure development in the region, the contractor has to be held accountable.
Hii mafuriko imekuja jinsi inavyokuja hivi. So tutampata ameelekea Halaba ndani ya river. Tutamuokoa aje? Mtusaidie bana. Hata hii sisi kwetu tutaanza kupata dysentery. Kwa sababu hii barabara kuna walevi wanatumia hivi nyeo viko kila mahali hapa barabarani. Sasa msipotusaidia watoto wetu wataangamia na dysentery, hata diarrhea, hata na magonjwa mengine mengi sana.
Nimejaribu nimeweka ka gate kangu kadogo hapo, maji imekata hiyo nyumba, nini gate inaanguka kando. Barabara ya kuteremka na nyumbani, maji imekula kando yote. Mbolea kwa shamba nimeweka, mbolea maji imebeba yote imeteremka nayo.
Sababu ikizidi kukaa hivi itararuke ishe na sijui kama watarudia. Wakikawia sana tunaweza waletea wajenzi watawaamusha.
Wakazi huko chini kutoka shule wa Malu kijana cross paka chini unapata tu vio zile ziko kwa napata hii mfuriko yote imejaza zile choo kabla wakati wa choo hazijafika kujaa.
Na ningeweza kuwahimiza wasimamizi wa kura ya kwamba wakuja waangalie hii sehemu kwanza, kwa sababu maji yanafanya madhara kubwa sana, yanaingia kwa maboma ya watu.
President William Ruto has called for dialogue with the anti-government protests within a period of 5 days. The head of state is set to address various issues, including poor governance, corruption, tribalism, youth unemployment, and the ballooning debt. The head of state is keen on ensuring he gets to know the leaders of the anti-government protests. At least 50 seats will be for the young people of Kenya, and the 100 people will be from different sectors. All participants will bear their coat of attendance.
Working on the issues that are of priority to the people of Kenya. We will move ahead with the multisectoral forum. And we have agreed that a membership of 150 representatives of various stakeholders, 50 of whom shall be young people of Kenya. The other 100 will be representatives of all the other sectors, the religious community, civil society, professional groups, political parties. This forum will begin on Monday next week and end on Saturday next week. It will be a 6-day forum and will propose the way forward for the country. In the interest of making sure that we live within our means,